Dogs were the very first animal that we ever domesticated, and we've been with dogs for at least 15,000 years. Some could be upwards of 30,000 years, so that's a long time to be with an animal. Cats probably about 10,000 years, which is still a very long time. For early on in our history with these animals, they weren't pets, they weren't companions, they were really co-workers. Dogs helped us hunt and herd, and they guarded our campsites, and cats guarded our fields, and they served a very important function. It was a very tit-for-tat relationship. You do this for me, I'll do this for you. There's not a whole lot of evidence for sentimentality towards these animals early on. It's really in the last century that they've really morphed from pets to companions in the last couple of decades to being more than companions, to being family members. And the question is, why is that? Why at this point in history have we really, if we've been with these animals for thousands and thousands of years, why is it just in the last few decades that we've really embraced them as full-fledged family members? The book is a bit of a personal journey for me, sort of seeing the world through the eyes of pets and sort of tracing the journey that they've been on. I think that really interesting transformations are going to be happening in the eyes of the law, and I think that's a really open question about cats and dogs are property right now, and are we as a society comfortable with them being property? Only 1% of owners consider their cats and dogs property, 90% of them consider their cats and dogs members of the family, but are we willing to go that extra step in the eyes of the law? I talk about in the book, there's some very strong voices on both sides. When pets are property, they can be subject to more abuse and obviously less protections than if they were something that was other than property. But then you have people like veterinarians and scientists and even a lot of legal scholars worried about this fuzzing of the property status and granting rights to animals, what the implications are not just for humans, but for the animals themselves. So I think there's going to be some really interesting debate about that in the future.